Right, so another guy's seen your dick. You ever play football? Happens all the time in the showers afterwards.
Not when you're approaching him with a glint in your eye, like my character was.
Well...
I had to have a word with it going, don't get excited. Don't send wrong messages.
Please don't.
Okay, welcome to this week's Swift Half in a pub. Swift Half in a Green King pub.
In a pub, yeah,
Yes.
in a Green King pub.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for doing our partnership. It feels right to do a Swift Half in partnership with Green King
It just feels
pubs.
good to be in the pub, mate. So, Swift Half this week, what we do is we go to your audience questions. So what you've wrote in, questions for us.
Yes.
So we'll name and shame the lot of you.
Yes. Well, we don't have to shame them.
No, you know.
Okay, we've got loads here, but we usually only end up doing two, don't we?
Well, we'll
So
see.
let's
Just see how we go.
Will, I don't
Yes.
know why this is... Well, maybe this is from someone called Will. Yeah, maybe it is. Has there ever been an acting job you've been on and have refused, point blank, to act out the scene?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever refused anything.
I don't think you can. Once you sign up, you can't go, well, I'm not doing that. It's like, I'd tell you one thing they do a lot, where on Woman of Substance, they had a stunt double for me, booked him for the whole day, and I said from the start, they said, because I had to carry my wife, she was dying, I had to carry her up this hill, running with her, and get to the top, and she dies just as I get to the top. So they said, we're going to do that quite a few times. And I was a bit like, I could do that. They went, well, we've got a stunt double here.
Honestly.
And I just thought...
I get that they have to,
No,
but
I
it's
think
like,
I was
so...
I was like, so you obviously think I'm too old to do this.
Well, yeah.
But I was like...
I'm going to do it. I'm going
to do it.
Yeah. But then your back was knackered for 2 weeks. I couldn't get out
The
of bed.
next day I could barely move. But I was like, bollocks, am I going to bow down to this? I said to the stunt double in the morning, we're both having breakfast. He went, I'm your stunt double. I went, you won't be doing much today. I'm going to go up that hill as many times until I collapse, until I let you carry my dying wife.
Yeah. You'll have to carry me up the hill before you do the scene.
Yeah, and
Just think, though, if they'd have let the stunt double do it, maybe she'd have survived. Got up there quicker.
But the thing is, there's a few reasons why, because it becomes a pain in the ass to shoot when you got a stunt double, what they can show the face and all that. But this is the God's honest truth. I was doing a series, it was a drama series called In the Club, and it was about pregnant women, and my character had lost his job, and he was destitute, and he robbed a bank and all that to try to pay for his kids and all this stuff. Anyway, he ended up desperate and stood on the edge of this building. He was going to jump, and they were trying to shout him down, don't jump, and all that stuff. So they had a whole setup where it looks like I'm on the edge, and they said, at this point, we're going to cut to the stunt double. And I was all strapped, sort of, but you can't see the strapping. Anyway, so I'm on the edge, and they went, cut, okay, stunt double, can you come in now? And they wanted to basically get his feet over the edge, but they wouldn't let me do it. Do you know what he did?
What?
Put his arms through the legs of the jeans and put his hands into the shoes and just did that with his hands over the edge. I could have done that. Yeah. So it just looked like someone's feet. So he had his arms. So he wanted... I was like... He's not even risking his own health and safety.
Don't book him. Pay me his wage and I'll just put my feet into my hands in some shoes.
He put his hands through the legs of the jeans and put his hands into the shoes, and then the shot was like up here, going down from his... So it looked... He could have just done it with his legs like he was supposed to, and he did it with his hand.
That's not even a stunt.
Exactly.
Hey, what do you specialise in? Well, I can put my hands in a pair of shoes.
And some jeans, so it looks like legs.
And I can shuffle them along.
It was weird. But so, yeah,
it's like a cabaret act. It's weird.
Yeah, but mainly, you don't really get to refuse stuff.
No.
Unless it's nudity, but I think they asked you that right at the beginning. They say, are you happy to get your knob out or something?
I don't think there's anything I've ever been that...
This doesn't say that in the contract. Are you happy to get your knob out? But you know when they say full frontal nudity?
That's what made me laugh. So I'm just, your agent's like, so yeah, I'm just studying the contract. You've got your own exclusive transport in the morning. This is the fee. It's a buyout. So you're on the favoured nations with the same as the rest of the cast. You're happy to get your knob out?
But that would be clearer.
You're like, I'd rather they just said that.
Full frontal nudity. We've both done that.
When have you done it? On screen?
I did it I told you when the director said my arse looked nervous.
That's
when I
not
did
full
the
frontal,
street.
is it, you dickhead?
Well, I had my cock out.
But what do you think full frontal means?
Well, yes, I know, but I had my cock out.
But was it on screen? Could you see it on screen?
Well, the other actor was looking right at it.
That's not full frontal.
All right.
Full frontal nudity it's on screen, dangling around.
Oh, I don't think I've done that, no.
No. Listen, it took a lot of fucking balls to do
It
that.
took a lot of helicoptering to do that. I remember seeing it. I was like, that doesn't look like usually.
It took a lot
There's
of
some
balls.
blood in that,
It took a lot of balls, and ironically, I had to tuck a lot of balls out of the way. Right? But like, yeah, you can't claim to have done full frontal nudity just if someone's seen your ass crack. You got your ass out, and Will and Ralph should know better. You can't
but
keep
I
it
meant
away.
I was naked, didn't have a sock on it. You know, you get the cock sock.
All right, so another guy's seen your dick. Have you ever played football? Happens all the time in the showers afterwards.
Not when you're approaching him with a glint in your eye, like my character was.
Well...
I had to have a word with it going, don't get excited. Don't
bet you were
don't
walking
send
up going,
wrong messages.
please don't. Tell you what, though, he's a nice looking lad. Fucking stop it.
He was in
Jesus.
300.
Oh,
Vincent Regan.
ripped, yeah?
Yeah. He put on a bit of timber when we
Did
worked
you?
together.
Did you get even a little twinge? A little twinge?
You must be
Just
out
like
of
the
your
tiniest bit of blood, you just felt like the little bub.
Do you know the problem you've got is you don't want it to be too lazy, though, because you
No,
don't want it to,
no,
you don't want him to go, hey, God. Bit small his dick, innit?
But how sad is that?
You know, you still want a bit of like...
How sad is that? Because...
How sad is it?
But how sad is that? Because it's not like it's the public thing, you know. You just want another man. Nobody else. You don't want him to be like, there's not a lot going on there. That is so vain.
It's not vain.
Oh, speaking of which, House of Guinness. You sent me that thing. We got to talk about that.
Oh, yes.
Get it. It's amazing.
Oh, yes, let me find it now.
This delighted me.
Yeah, I know
I'll see if
exactly where I
can
can find it. No, it was...
So I'll set it up. So do you remember... so for our viewers and listeners, do you remember we were talking about... What's the actor's name again?
Got it. So
you were saying about we were watching House of Guinness, and you said actor Anthony Boyle, he's in the bath.
He's got a big penis.
And he stands up, and you were like that.
I was on a train and I actually went, fuck off, with my headphones
Then you
on.
showed it to me on the podcast, and I murmured involuntarily, it's beautiful. I couldn't stop looking at it.
It's unbelievable.
Right? So we were talking about that, and then a couple of weeks ago...
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I got a message off Jess, who worked with him on a House of Guinness.
And we were a little bit worried because we were like, well, it's a bit, we're talking about, it's a bit personal talking about that. Maybe he doesn't like it. Maybe he's a bit embarrassed. Anyway, go
Well,
on.
Jess, who plays the lead, Emma Hart plays my daughter in Woman of Substance, she did House of Guinness with him, right? So, obviously, we speak, and she messaged me, and she sent me this pic saying he loves hearing people talking about his dick. And it's him watching our podcast,
delighted with our review of his performance on House of Guinness.
He's watched it, and she said he loves it. He's sat there going, yes, it's very impressive, isn't it?
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect him more and more. I mean, like, I love the idea of him watching that going, huh,
yeah.
Cheers,
boys.
rather than like, oh God, I wish they wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd get a bit starstruck if I met him.
What would you shake? Don't want to shake your hand.
Whatever I reached first.
Yeah.
And it could be anything.
Well, yeah.
Actually, there is... I don't know if this story is going to be funny if you weren't in the room. But I'll tell it anyway. It might not translate to funny, but one of the actors in the play on stage is an older chap. He's quite short, and there's a bit in the play where he has to sort of get around the stage quite quickly for a certain timing, for a certain music cue.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen it. He starts off behind you at the top, and
That's
he comes
right,
on.
yeah.
That's the only bit he understood.
And we were sort of... It hadn't quite gone right for a couple of shows, so we came in early to take it, because it involves the whole cast, right? And it was just one of those funny things where the assistant director's like, okay, but Nick, you really do need to be round there at the back for that thing. And he said, yeah, the thing is, it is a little, and he was trying to say, look, I'm only little, I'm only short. He said, it is difficult, I've not got a lot of time, and it's quite difficult when you've got a 30-inch... And what he meant to say was inside leg.
Oh, right.
But he never finished his sentence. So the mythology around our entire
He's
company
got this huge penis.
is that he has a 30-inch cock.
Hey.
And I'm like, to be fair to him, he's like, keep running with that. I'm very happy with it.
Have you seen The Boys? Obviously you have. Have you seen him beating that bloke up with his cock?
Well, I think that might be our guy who's on stage with us.
Yeah. Have we got time for another question? We'll do one more because we
never really answered that question, but no, there's not really anything that we haven't
there's nothing. You don't really refuse. I mean, obviously everything's signed off and agreed now, and they've got these intimacy coordinators now on.
So I did Hunting Alice Bell last year, which hasn't been out yet. It's the thing I did, the drama I did over in Dublin. David Baddiel wrote it, Simon Pegg, Amanda Abington, Alexandra Roach, and so on, right? There was a non-speaking actor and it played my wife. So there's this scene, and in the script it's like, I leave for work, I've forgotten my sandwiches, I come running back to the front door. My wife opens the door, hands me the thing, and I give her a quick hug. And intimacy coordinator. I had to get an intimacy coordinator.
What for? For the hug?
For the hug.
See, that's the thing now. There's a new job that's come on for intimacy coordinators that didn't exist a few years ago. And if people don't know what this is, it's basically if there's any intimacy on set, you used to sort of have a discussion about whether you have a closed set or whatnot. And it's just to respect people's privacy. And I think now, with the way the world is, they've now employed people who come on set whose job it is to make sure the intimacy and everyone's happy in the moment. I think if you've got young people on set, it works.
The thing
when
is,
you're as old as me and has done as much as we have and done all this sort of stuff, I found it. I had to have a conversation going, okay, between me and somebody else going, now, are you okay for Will to put his hand on your shoulder at this point? She has to say, yes, I'm okay for Will. I said, listen, let's stop this right now. In the moment, things are going to happen.
Like, let's stop this right now. I'll do what I fucking want.
No, but it's like we're both happy. I had to have it was in the teacher. I had to have a full-on sex scene, and I said, there's going to be moments where, in the moment, things are going to happen, and we've had a conversation. I'm happy, she's happy, everyone's happy, and I don't want it to make it any more awkward than it is.
To be sensible for a second, because this is an important thing. Like, it is better. It is better that it exists.
Oh, I agree.
It's better because
but it's the situation, whether the situation needs it or not.
It's a very sort of intimate and exposing situation, and you're comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it. Loads of people are comfortable with it. But if there's a handful, if there's a percentage of people that aren't comfortable
and they haven't
with
got the confidence to speak
and
up,
they haven't got the confidence, it means that someone won't get taken advantage of. Somebody won't be put in a difficult position, and so it is better that it exists, and it's a better way of doing things. However, as with a lot of these things, you know, sometimes things have to go a certain distance one way till it's figured out where the sensible line is.
It can go too far.
We could come up and can come up with them. Loads of people have stories about, we've got an intimacy coordinator for that and whatever. And those stories are still valid because it's a bit like,
well,
really?
If you're hugging somebody.
I literally had to go, just give it and go, thanks, like that. And it was like, do we need an intimacy coordinator for this? But whatever.
They're paying them and they got a job and that's what their job is.
So fair enough. Anyway, whatever. It's, it's a good thing, but it's like with a lot of things.
It's an insight into our industry.
It needs to, and it's okay that if the price is that sometimes we have to be like, well, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? But people feel safer, then that's fine. But sometimes it is a bit silly. Do you know what? We only did one question.
That's how it goes.
And we didn't even answer it because the answer is no. So that'll be it for this Swift half. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll
get through some more questions.
We'll get through some more questions next time.